This is Ron Wysocarski with Beach House Consulting, and I want to talk to you just a little bit today about what it takes in 2021 to actually get a mortgage through. Well, traditionally, and including today, you're going to need your last 2 years' tax returns. Now, here's where things get a little bit different. Yes, you should pay yourself, you should have W-2s, and your P&L should show that if you paid yourself 50 grand, you didn't lose 50 in the business. That's really a net of zero, so that's not going to help you. But let's suppose that you had a good P&L, and you paid yourself and you can demonstrate that income and there's some reserves in the business. Good start. They're also going to want to see your P&L for this year, and let's just suppose that last year turned out to be okay. If the last 2 years are really strong, let's say that 2019 you made 100 grand and then you made 50 grand in 2020, but you survived. They're not going to do the average. They're going to use the lowest one, the most recent one of 50 grand, because that's your recent performance. Now, before you get all excited, let's say that 2019 was 50 grand and 2020 was 100 grand. Now they're going to average it. They're not going to give you the 100. They're going to average the last 2 years to try to find what the reasonability is of continuing with that. So you will get the credit of a good year averaged. And if you had a bad year, they're using that because lenders are going to measure risk. So that's how that piece works. Now here's the wrinkle. Let's say you made 100 in 2019 and 100 in 2020, or 50 and 50, or whatever that number is. Let's say that your P&L in the beginning of 2021 is a little off. Let's say the first 3 months of the year you didn't make any money. Bank is going to look at that and say, well, geez, I know what you did the last couple of years, but you really kind of hit the skids here in 2021. They're going to use that P&L to greatly affect your ability to borrow and repay. So if you make no money in the first quarter of 2021, all the hard work of the last 2 years is temporarily out the window. They're probably not going to lend based on a current P&L. Now the good news is, let's say that you rebound halfway through the year. Well, now you can come back in and say, hey, my P&L supports I made 50,000 in the first 6 months of the year, and it lines up with my 100 for the last 2 years in a row. Or I made 25 halfway through the year and it matches my 50 grand halfway through, whatever that is. Then you're back in alignment and you can absolutely work on some financing with your bank. You'll still need good credit. You'll still need your down payment if it's a mortgage to get that piece done. So it's a little different than what it's been in years past, but they're really looking at it. Last year was kind of tough for most people because there was so much uncertainty in the second quarter of 2020 that as a self-employed borrower, you really were kind of out for a little bit. Now the taxes are being done. It's pretty much empirical. It just shows where it is. Unless you did a PPP type of loan with a forgiveness, and since the government hasn't figured out the whole forgiveness thing and the tax preparers aren't sure how that goes, I would say this: if you're self-employed and looking for financing, it's going to be a tough go in the beginning of 2021. It just is, but it could be corrected pretty quickly, March, April, May, and if your business is going and growing, you should be just fine. But yeah, if you're depending on a mortgage right now to buy a property, I would absolutely get with your lender, whoever that is, and make sure that you bulletproof this transaction. We would hate for you to be looking at a new home or a new office building or something to grow your business, only to be disappointed because the pre-approval you had before wasn't necessarily so good. So if you're going to do that, talk to your financial people, talk to your lender, definitely get your CPA involved, and let us know how that works out. Now, if you just want more information like this, then absolutely subscribe. And give us a comment below. Let us know if you're really enjoying this content. It means a lot to us, and we look forward to helping you every week. This is Ron Wysocarski with Beach House Consulting.